Good afternoon, everybody. Tyler Byrum here with you, as well as the coach, Jimmy Patsos. Jimmy, you've been on the sideline for these games before. Championship time. What's it like, the emotions between the players and the coaches in these situations?
Yeah, so I'm sure Mystic fans at home are quite familiar with the skills, talent, and chemistry that both Natasha Cloud and Brittany Sykes have displayed on the court this year. Now, we've talked all season long about the pressure that your defense needs to be able to provide. What's your grade of it in the first half?
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Monumental Plus. I'm Tyler Byrum. This is the great Christy Winter-Scott. Christy, we have a full day's worth of games today. How about you set the table for us?
And the injury from last season really kind of, I don't want to say put things in perspective, but kind of maybe put things a little bit on hold on where she was and had to kind of reevaluate who she wants to be as a player and how she's going to achieve the goals that she has set out for herself. So she's put it very bluntly that she wants to be the best player in the Mystics. Yeah. And through this rehab process, she has done things and are learning little minutia type details of what it means to be a star.
Talked with Coach Bolin. Speaking of McQueen, told us he was mature beyond his years being a freshman. We're seeing it here early. Here he is for the triple. It is good. Coming over to help defensively, Yoon.
And both teams are trapping and really causing some disruption defensively for sure.
Step back, Civil gets the block. Open floor ahead for Jada Civil. There she goes. Here's the pressure there from Nigel Hickson, one of the best defenders on this Sandy Spring team. Forcing the ball to move around. Here comes the drive from Samir Taylor, and a block by Block. As they are now here in the Maryland Private School State Championship game. Bullis High School against Clinton Grace. Tyler Byrum and Jimmy Patsos here with you. Bullis with possession. Here's a talented freshman, Xavier Skipworth, who is well beyond his years in terms of skill and IQ. Wearing number 11 right now on the baseline. Darren Moore picks up the shovel, gives it to Skipworth. Inside, and a deflection leads to a turnover. That was a sophomore. Jaylon Lyons is the reason why we talked about it.
They're gonna, whether it's full court pressure or half court, they're going to get deflections. They're going to play a little chaotic. Bullis is going to play straight, kind of man-to-man and keep you in front of you. Play very solid defense. Won't blitz, won't really help. And that's why.
Bryce Adams,
play one-on-one.
He got away with a push-off, but defense is able to win that one. Good defense there by senior Chris Richards.
And that's without Ryba, your McDonald's All-American in the game, because as Tyler said, he was hurt for 6 weeks. He's back. The match was his first game. My guy to watch is number 1, Jeremiah Johnson. He's the X-Factor going to Howard U for Bullis.
Richards can't get the finish. Darren Moore took a tumble there at the free throw line. Possession here to Clinton Grace. Scoreless here in the first minute 13. Both teams trying to feel each other out. Here's the older brother of Jaylon, CJ, taking it himself. Pulls up, 3 white shirts around him. Passes out to Adams. He has the shot. Can't get it to go.
And that's what you'll see Stevens do. See, he's not just some guy that's looking for the outlet. He went and got it himself.
Here it is, Adrian Stevens.
You know, I love to do this, Tyler. You know, Stevens reminds me of Russell Westbrook.
Oh, okay.
Because he broke the triple-double record here in D.C.
How about Caleb Norcom shutting him down? 2 penetration attempts, no luck.
That's early.
6 on the possession clock. The 3 is good.
I hate when I'm right. I said Jeremiah Johnson. I talked to Bruce Kelly. He said he's better. He's one of those guys who's getting better as the year goes. He really wasn't on my scout. He played outstanding against him after. Here he hits the 3 because everyone knows who Stevens is, and you know Ryba and all that stuff. That's different. Jeremiah Johnson's making his name in this tournament.
There's a reason why you were once paid the big bucks, Jimmy.
That would be once paid the big bucks. And Chris Wright's here.
That's once more than me.
No, you're going to get the big bucks coming. Chris Wright from the Wizards broadcast is here tonight with us, too.
Here's Devin Page,
well,
head coach.
Damn. Devin Page
Grace.
went there, Tyler. I like that. Went there.
Yep, and he is dedicated to building this program up. A very small Catholic school. Through the past several years, they become a regional team. Now
Tell
they're
us your
competing at the highest
thoughts. You
level.
talked to him. How was he when you talked to him?
Oh, he was very impressive, and just the way he's committed to these players in this program. And he didn't know if he was going to be able to take the team that's going all the way to the cup as Stevens, and he's just a little short. But he didn't know what it takes, but he was willing to learn, and so far, he's doing the job.
Yeah, great job. And he had 5 guys go to Division I, had to rebuild. Bruce Kelly, and that's Paul DiStefano next to him, who's a legendary, Jack Moon's friend. Paul DiStefano's coached at St. John's, outstanding high school, his whole family. His brother coached at Gallaudet, his other brother coached at Einstein. wonderful family. Bruce Kelly, Gonzaga, and Dick Myers played at Catholic U, where I went for Jack Bruin. He's been there 21 years, and he's continually just got Billis better and better. His best player ever, Eric Reynolds, just set the scoring record at St. Joe's in Philly.
We'll talk more about that later. He's led them to 8 IAC championships, 8 regular season, 8 postseason tournaments. Tough jumper there for Stevens. Misses. Rebound here to Clinton Grace. 3-0 ball game. Lions work strength to get that pass off. They can't connect with the 3.
And that's what Grace hit the other night. Look, Grace was down early. They tried to play zone. And Mount Zion solved it early. They said forget it. They went man-to-man. They went scramble. They went press. And they owned the last 3 quarters against Mount Zion, who was the #1 seed. Chalk, as Tyler likes to say. What the?
Rock, chalk, Jayhawk. Three-pointer is good for Jalen Lyles.
He's just left off. He left off where he was at Seton the other night. Elizabeth Seton making threes from deep.
He has learned how to lead this team's offense with the ball in his hands during an outstanding winning streak that they had earlier this season. He's been phenomenal, named to the All-League first team. Ties this game up at 3 here in the first quarter. Here's Skipworth trying to answer on the other side. Rebound goes to Adams.
See, this is where he's done a good job to me, Coach Page. They won't take a bad shot. Like they didn't have transition. They couldn't run. They're going to run a set. They get the ball on the post. Good things happen when you go in there. Like that. Offensive rebound. You get the ball on the post. Defense collapses. Either kick out for a 3 or get an offensive rebound and score. And he put out a show the other night at Winjay, including dunking the ball on some people from Mount Zion who were very surprised at that.
Zoji Awinje, number 5, scoring that last bucket. Second team All-Conference honoree from the MPSC. 5-3 lead. Driving here is Stevens. Kick out to the corner. Richards going to take it on a drive, and he's rejected. Met up in the air by Caleb Norcom. Going the other way. Kick out to CJ. Short.
Yeah, just a little deep. I liked it. Jalen did the right thing and drove it, kicked it to CJ. CJ should have shot fake and taken that to the rim.
Jimmy, we're 5 minutes in. Only 3 buckets have been scored so far. Do they need to settle down, or do you like this?
Look, I think they're both a little nervous. As you said, they're not chalk. And what Tyler means, if anybody doesn't know what that means, they're not the favorites. DeMatha was the 2 seed. Mount Zion was the 1. So, and you know, Bullis, we've talked ad nauseum. They lost in double overtime on a heartbreaker last year. Maybe getting a little jitters out, but they're both good teams. I think we talked about this. Mark Stern and Capitol Hoops, what a great tournament this is these 2 teams probably wouldn't play in the regular season, Tyler. They just wouldn't schedule each other, not in the same conferences. Yet here they are to play in the state tournament title.
And now checking in, the 7-footer, Eric Ryba. Can't miss him.
His better days are ahead of him, by the way. He's going to get a little more strength. Reminds you of clinging a little bit, maybe shoots it a little better. That's what he does best to me, Tyler, is defensive rebound.
Able to collect the glass there, 5-3. Time to see what he can do on the offensive side. Ryba catches it over in the corner. He can shoot it if he wants. Steps in for the midi. No good. Long rebound. Tracks out to the Eagles. Here is Norcom. Lions driving back out to CJ. They'll reset their offense. 2:08 left to go here in the first. Fast pace, but just 8 points scored. And then CJ Lyons throws that one into the second row.
Now, sometimes I'm surprised Clinton Grace is impressing right here. Gary Williams press on the sideline, 55 sideline, one trap. People aren't ready for it. Because anytime the ball's in the backcourt, Clinton Grace is a threat to put pressure defense on him.
Here's Stevens. Holding on, hasn't dribbled yet. Now put it down with his right hand. 2 to go. Ryba throws it inside. Xavier Skipworth kick out to Stevens. Stevens with a strong take. Back out to Skipworth. No good. Hezzy there by Jalen Lyles. Thinks better of it. Norcom now posting up. The smaller Darren Moore. Help coming in. Kick out. The swing. Now the drive by Awinje. Back out to Jalen Lyles. 12 seconds to shoot. Rebound going to the Bulls.
I might not take that one unless I had 20 or I was Samuels from McNamara, the girl who just had 8 threes. That was a little bit of a heat check for early in the game. As you said, Tyler, there's been not many fouls called. Great refereeing. I know all these officials are all veterans of the D.C., Baltimore High School, Catholic League tournament, etc.
Michael Heeman's checked into this game as well.
He's
Back
a
out
sharp
the
shooter
Steelers.
and a great putter. Plays for Sean Whalen on the golf team.
Skipworth drills the mid-range shot. Xavier Skipworth, again, as I said, plays beyond his years and has covered some of the top players in the country. Watch what he does on the defensive side of the ball. Right now he's going up against CJ Lyons over in that left corner. Ball kicked out. Jalen Lyles penetrate out to his brother. Can't get it to fall. 20 seconds left here in the first half. Bullis can hold for the last shot. Heeman to the corner. Darren Moore for three. No. Riva battling for the board. Here's a chance here for Clinton Grace. Are they going to push it or are they going to settle?
See, just solid defense. They get back in transition. Bullis stop it, and then you can't beat them. They're just going to play solid shell drill.
And Jalen Lyles not recognizing the clock, trying to get the inside feed there to Bryce Adams. And after one, it's a 5-5 ball game. Low scoring affair here in the Maryland Private School State Championship. Rudd Field in Amherst. A chance for Mason, and Jessica Adigo scores for the Patriots. Again, finally looking like things are coming through. Norris splits two defenders. It's through. The Colonials score first. Patriots set to check in on the next stoppage. That's Naja Ashman.
There's some players warming up in the Minute women's side as well.
Yep, as we've hit the midway point of this first half. Still 0-0, ball ahead shot, and that one wide left. Melissa Kostler almost put the Minute women on top. She had two Patriot defenders flanked on her, and she was almost able to turn that one around and get the right angle on Simmers to get it through.
I think the shot even hit the post a little bit. I think it grazed it. And as he said, that's probably the closest thing we've seen to a goal so far.
Ball put in by Hip. Patriots are there. Scalfani settles it, puts it in. Not much there. And now a lot of open space for the Patriots, but there's 5 Minute women in their way. It's a 4-on-5. They're behind. That's Bradshaw over in the corner. Bradshaw, low pass, was looking for Reese, well behind her and through a lot of Minute women traffic. Adigo and Bradshaw flip sides, as you typically see between most clubs. And now a lot of open space ahead for Jenny Hip. Eilfsdottir is there. Offside Minute women is Kostler. Hip still keeps it herself. Pert is back. She fires a shot, a one-hopper right into the gut of Morgan Simmers.
I think she wanted that a little bit more to the left. Easy play for Simmers, or a seemingly easy play. And that should be her first save of the game.
Jenny Hip. This is her 4th start of the season. She's now started 3 straight games for UMass, as she really hadn't been involved too much early in the year. I mentioned her outstanding year in 2018, making the first team, as well as the midfield honor in the Atlantic 10. Ahmed offsides, 3rd one of the day, called against the team in maroon and white. UMass picked 5th in the Atlantic 10 preseason poll. George Mason picked 3rd. Both these teams with high aspirations, looking to continue their runs from a season ago. They're both the 4 and 5 seeds. George Mason, despite being 8-2 in conference play, got the number 4 seed. That just shows how top-heavy the Atlantic 10 was a year ago. And this season, with Mason losing their first conference game, UMass losing their first conference game, VCU also lost their first conference game. They were projected to finish 2nd. St. Joe's lost their first conference game to Davidson. Well, a big mess and a lot of teams that we thought were contenders heading into the year down near the bottom of the standings. Again, it's still very early on, but they'll have to play from behind, and odds are when you have that many top teams struggling, there's probably going to be one team left out.
Yeah, and really, as we talked about, there's still a lot of things that all these teams in the A10, not just the top-heavy teams, but also the teams that are looking for playoff contention, as there's a foul there, as UMass seems to be in that tier, being picked to finish 5th.
Foul called against George Mason's Emily Bradshaw. On the ground is Ava Juvenel.
Yeah, it looks like Bradshaw tripped her up on her way trying to get to the ball.
Juvenel back up on her feet, will not need assistance.
Looks like some subs are ready for the Minute Women as well.
Yeah, they have a lot of them set to come in right now. 3, and it looks like a 4th has just hopped up and is about to join them. She will. So a plethora of subs in the near future. But right now for UMass, a chance in the offensive end. Mara played out by Carrie Yoon as Kelly Mara had a chance, and now here comes the subs. We'll try and help you when we can, but we're now trying to play catch up.
Like
one that I will say, Lauren Bonavita is one that's checking in. It's Nisa Pereira, also on your screen, that has come into the game, that will play on the back line. But Bonavita, number 9, will be playing with her 5th goal on the year, or excuse me, 5 goals on the year, to try and spark the Minute Women offense that has gotten really close so far, but yet to put one past Morgan Simmers.
Substitution entering number 4, Naja Ashman.
Fatu Berry with the throw. She was one of the subs, the junior midfielder from Bayshore, New York. But now you got to keep an eye on number 9, Bonavita, replacing Rebecca Frisk. Naja Ashman also checked in. And now that we have a moment, let's just go ahead and provide those substitute updates for you. Ashman is in for Olivia Reese. Pereira is in. Technically, she replaced Rebecca Frisk, but it was just a mass of players. They don't think they were accurately represented on the field. Sini Loksanen is in for Fatu Berry, or excuse me, Fatu Berry is in for Sina Loksanen. Serena Ahmed is out, Bonavita is in, Kelly Mara is out, and Lindsay Wolf is in for UMass. And those are the subs that we just had at the 27:30 mark in the game. Ball played in by Bradshaw.
No one there for the Patriots to even have an opportunity to put that one in the back of the net.
Everyone holding back on the line. Good play there made by Kalani Pert. Once again, another outstanding defensive play to stop a run. Offsides. Jessica Adigo is trying to make a quick run for the Patriots. Right now it only looks like that there are 2 forwards up front, as Naja Ashman playing back in a center mid position.
So 3-5-2 for the Patriots.
I think they're just trying to slow down UMass and make it a halftime.
Really not having your top goal scorer, we've talked about this, Tyler, really changes the complexion of things for the Patriots.
UMass moving on in. Barry back to Frazier. Frazier puts it in. Kayla Hamrick playing way back for Mason. She'll step in. We do have a whistle. So a couple passes ago, and that one's against George Mason, and UMass now will have a free kick. The center of the field, about 10 yards outside the box.
Haven't heard the whistle a lot from the officials. That's only the second whistle we've heard for a foul call. There have been 4 offsides so far.
Here's Melissa Kostler. There's 2 more subs about to come in for UMass. They're going to replace their entire lineup before the half is said and done. Kostler, on net, way too high. That was a prime chance for the freshman from Germany. Unable to connect.
I think. And now DC subs on their offense, and now they have a chance to win this game. McDonald, healthy and good, back out on the field. Bonet slashes in front of him. He takes a shot, to Tyler Monroe for the win! Braun with the inside throw to Malks, and Malks is goal hunting down to Wodach, and Jeff Wodach elevates for the goal. Ben Yonkers, it floats, but he has a big target. His brother, Ralph Yonkers, snatches it down. Well, and I have to imagine there for Bonet, this is only his 4th game, and he's used to a 10-second stall. So he knows that he has to get rid of the disc quicker than he normally would at the club scene or even the beach scene. And the timing may be off, so he may have to be rushing a throw. And honestly, Tyler Monroe didn't exactly set himself up well to be able to provide a reset.
Yeah, a lot of high school coaches out there saying, what are you doing in that space, man?
Seen that way too often. So Philadelphia, no breaks, 2 for 2 so far. O-line looking pretty good. Here's Martin on a big under. He's being covered by Miles Gorovic, and looks like we'll see the talented second-year Breeze player able to make some plays against one of the top goal scorers in league history. He's going deep here as he was trying to get the run on by Jordan Ryan. Ryan, 5th season as a pro. Some quick handler movement there to get it over to Alex Thorne. Thorne, a college champion, settling in here with the Phoenix's offense as you see him quickly working to all corners of the field. Owens pulls up. Reset to Ryan. I'd say one thing for the handlers today, really active from the Philadelphia backfield.
And generating flow. We saw it on the Pollard. There was an over-the-top to Pollard on the point before this, and really being able to find the next player.
And we have a turnover here, but I believe it will go back. Bloodgood. Both arms out in front of him. Not too happy with that call, as the disc will go back to Dmitry Savarov, and he'll get some yards out of it as well. Owens, a nice floaty throw as there was a bit of a miscommunication with Thorne. Thorne to the end zone to Pollard. The blade drops in the coin slot, and Philadelphia with yet another hold. They are 3 for 3 to start this game.
And we've seen some pressured catches from them. So here we're going to see that's the foul call right there. I'm not sure if maybe there was a hack on the throw. And here we're going to see this outside-in edge from Alex Thorne to Pollard. We've seen some pressured catches, 3 or 4 of them for Philadelphia. Now, generally the consensus is like that means the defense is doing their job. But something we actually talked to Warren Boyle about before the game was Philadelphia feeds off plays like that. That's the kind of the fuel to their fire. That gets their hearts going, gets their hearts pumping, and makes them believe. And when we talked to her, she made it seem like those are the kind of plays that they needed to make sure that DC needs to finish to keep Philadelphia on the ropes.
So it is now 3-3, and I would say as we have a good pace to this game, 6 points in the first 6.5 minutes. Pressure is building, I would say, a little bit for DC's offense.
So far, very clean, though. You know, both teams completing passes, looking upfield, kind of a traditional ultimate game.
Bonet, middle of the field. Over to Gus Norbaum, finds a wide open Wodach. He has a man going, that's Monroe. Thinks better of it to find a wide open reset with Rowan McDonald. McDonald calling his spot. Good throw out into space for Norbaum. He has a couple of options as Roy is wide open. The continuation is there, and that's just picture perfect. Easy offense for DC in the half field. Bonet gets another goal, adding to his team leading total. And I mean, it's the 4th game in, and I know the offense has been a little bit rough for DC, but they seem to have found their flow here early, even without Johnny Malks on the field.
Yeah, and the force side will do that. When you can turn upfield, look at the force side, and somebody's on time and open, that's going to make the offense feel and look really easy. And so kind of like we talked about in the open, what is Philadelphia going to do to change that? That's not what the offense, DC's offense looked like when they played up in Philadelphia. So what is Philadelphia's response going to be? Are they going to start pulling people off the front of the stack? Are they going to start playing a little further away on defense? Are they going to change the mark? We'll just have to wait and see.
A.J. Merriman, 5th season here with the Breeze. Trying to step up into that face of the franchise type role that Rowan McDonald has held for so long. And I'm sure before tonight is done, you'll see some exciting plays from here. Deep shot was opening up here for Sean Mott, who was trying to make a good read. It just didn't happen with great downfield defense by Charlie McCutcheon. McCutcheon, one of the best under defenders and handler coverage in the league, but Pollard will take a shot. Will he get enough float on it? He has a man chasing it down, a slow drop, and a diving goal! Paul Owens with the theatrics has another clean hold for the Philadelphia offense.
What a shot from James Pollard. That was a dime. I don't think if that was an inch and a half further that completion would have happened, or if a gust of wind had came and taken that. That was incredible. Watching him kind of step out into space with his long, I mean, he steps out so far, flick away from his body, and then just attract me. Look at that.
And Will, we slightly talked about, I know we talked about it more off camera, but the new disc, allowing the disc to float a little bit longer than a traditional disc craft. That one certainly would have been a turnover under the old disc. With the new disc, that one just sat perfectly for Paul Owens to just be able to get there. So clean holds here by both teams, and there is the first turnover for either side, and a timeout called by Max Tripolis to get the O-line out there for Philadelphia.
Philadelphia has not had a lot of Ds this season. Last week, they only had one shot at a break for the whole game. But the thing that their Ds do have in common is this. There's a player who's standing in the lane and the thrower doesn't see them, or they kind of hide and they make sure they get into the space where the thrower is looking. That's a great play from Tripolis there. Real heads-up move.
So in these rainy conditions, they went 106 throws between both squads before throwing a turnover. I don't think either of us, what we saw this season for both O-lines, would have predicted that. I would have put the over-under at like 40 throws.
Yeah, and even like seeing people throwing during warm-up, and it was raining during the warm-up. It's not raining now, so there is a little difference there. They were having trouble completing some of those in-cuts. The disc was just sliding around in their hands.
So look at the completion percentage marks for both teams. Philadelphia yet to throw a turnover, and the first one by DC will lead to a break opportunity here for the Phoenix. And a short field to work with, too. Pollard with the break throw, able to find Mott. Mott covered by Reese Bergeron. Merriman versus Pollard. That one's an entertaining one. I believe we have a whistle as Alex Thorne reaches out with his left hand to make the grab, and there may be a pick called. Did it happen here in the backfield? It looks like it did. So a pick called here against Philly, which, I mean, may actually help Philadelphia, give them some more space to work here in the end zone. Mott through the reset. Here's Savarov. Now Mott. Big lefty around backhand there to Thorne to drop right in. Some containment D here by DC, and now there's the open space. Jordan Ryan looking for options. Going back over to Mott, plenty of room to work. Snags it out of the air.
That flow switch needs to come quicker for Philadelphia. If they can go back to the other side faster, their offense is going to have so many more weapons.
Ryan to Pollard for the lead. Philadelphia takes it. First break of the game goes to the Phoenix, and they leave 5-4 over the Breeze.
When Philadelphia called the timeout right away, when Tripolis called the timeout, my first thought is, no, don't do that. Your O-line, you haven't really been able to trust them. They haven't done well in this situation all season. Just use the fast break situation, because your D-line offense has actually been pretty good. The few chances you've had at breaks, you've kind of punched in on your own. Here they are. Here's Philadelphia playing very patient in the backfield and taking their time and then finding the superstar. You know, who do you trust? You trust your superstars.
Philadelphia had 38 turnovers in their first two games combined, and 19 per game was their average. We are nearly done through the first quarter. They don't have a single turnover. They have the lead over a team that wants to contend for a championship, and for a team that still wants to make the playoffs. They're able to steal one here against DC. That could be a huge game changer. And Andrew Roy with another turnover, and teammates looking at each other, never a good sign, as now Philly is off and running.
Andrew Roy thinking he's fouled on that throw, asking for a call. And, you know, the Philadelphia game last week, that was all over the place, you know, both for Philadelphia and Boston, looking for calls like that. You got to play to the whistle.
Noah Chunmoy calls his shot, and he has a goal. Philadelphia's second break in a row. It's officially a break train here for the road team in D.C.
Now, I'm curious what D.C. is going to do here. If they're going to bring out five of the 7 they just had out, are they going to bring out some sort of hybrid line? This is a situation they have not been in so far this season. We haven't really seen any team be able to kind of put several breaks in a row. They've been out there for 2 or 3 minutes, playing offense, running hard. You know, looks like Warren's going to keep most of the same personnel.
Here's a look at our stats here with about 1:59 left to go in the first quarter. And I mean, if you flip the logos, I think that's what most people would believe after what we've seen, not only just the first 2-3 games of the season, but just historically, which is how these teams have operated. But right now, Philadelphia has the momentum, a 2-goal lead, 1:53 left to go in this one. And I will say, Will, we were talking about the weather. The rain appears to be completely gone. No one's hanging on the concourse area here in Carlini Field. They are actually in the stands with some towels, but no umbrellas. So it is clear and a little damp, but that not a factor. Bonet left wide open as he made a slash from the middle of the stack. The reset by Wodach to get to Bonet, a little bit behind McDonald, but he makes the snag. McDonald to Zachary Burpee, a key addition for DC that has been able to play in some key moments for this squad on the O-line. Now back in the handler space, working with Roy. Roy, he has Wodach, instead goes to the underneath guy in Bonet. Tyler Monroe. Nice easy throw ahead to Zach Norbaum. Zach, how do you do? First goal since 2022.
And it's another flow side cut, well-timed. Thrower just looks upfield, and the cutter's already cutting. And so we'll get a good look at that here. Sorry, that's the Rowan pull away right here. We get flow side, and then, or sorry, four side. Tyler looks upfield, and Zach is already just cutting for the pylon. And to Philadelphia's credit, there's a couple throws that are really being pressured in the backfield around midfield. Philadelphia is looking very, very, very good right now. And even though they don't get that third break in a row or third chance in a row, they got to be pretty happy with how they're playing. We got about a minute left here. That's generally where we start talking about end of quarter situations. Philadelphia really is going to want to try to score last here.
Mentioned in a quarter, 59 seconds left to go. It is 5-6. Again, Philadelphia will receive to start the second quarter, so this could be the additional break here at the end of the frame if they can get the hole. But right now they are deep in their own end zone. Rhine over to Pollard. Not too much pressure from DC on that side of the field. Double team being put on here by Bloodgood and Bergeron. And then immediately streaking deep is Mott. He's one of those handlers that just loves to go deep. Here's a huck for Philadelphia, looking to the end zone. Two Breeze players are there, and it goes over everybody. Charlie McCutcheon may have gotten a hand on it, but did we have a foul on the throw?
Head officials calling it back to the spot where the throw happened. So it looks like there might have been contact back by the throw.
Jordan Rhine calling for the disc. The official has the spot on the field. That is head referee for the day, Bradley Tinney. He's going to reset the clock, 13.6. As I believe we may have a hot mic here to be able to see his communication to the press box. So they are resetting it to 24 seconds. Philadelphia just shy of midfield. Here's Rhine. Martin to Trissolini. Now Pollard. Double team being put on here quickly. Lamberty came over to help with Jurek.
DC really needs to pressure the thrower here.
5 seconds. Now there's time here for Philly. Wide open man is going to be a jump ball. Pollard boxing out. Skies over everybody. 50-50 disc goes to the tall man, James Pollard. And Philadelphia at the break with a 2-break lead over the DC Breeze.
Talk about things that make our game great. I mean, this looks like old school 500 at lunch recess. I mean, this right here, that's the throw that got called back. But as we set this just high floaty throw up, everyone getting underneath, and it just looks like a bunch of kids playing 500. That's awesome. That's so cool to see James coming down with that.
You know, on these late quarter situations, you sit at home and you wonder, why don't they just throw it to the tall guy? And that is what Jordan Ryan did there. Philadelphia with a 7-5 lead after one. We have a good one here in DC. You're watching the UFA on watchufa.tv. Here's Click. Making a dodge, getting past her defender, a low shot, and she scores herself. Great move. LaSalle has not led since the early moments of the second quarter. Steinmetz, awkward angle, drops it down. A career game for Claudia Steinmetz with her 5th goal and puts the Explorers on top with just 2 minutes and 22 seconds left to go. Mackenzie Click making a stunt. Good defense by the Revolutionaries as the rain and the weather starting to pick up just a tad. Click with no option, so she has to pass out of it. Lola Quigley, who's had a good stretch of gains recently, moves on in. The semicircle passes back out to Click. Quick moving Click goes back off to the right side. That's Sam Klein. Overall, 60 good hard seconds of defense here for George Washington. Can they stay strong for the final 30? Click moving on in. 2 in front, hits the top of the crossbar, and I think they were saying a crease violation there against the Explorers. George Washington's defense stands strong for the 2nd straight possession. And now they'll look for the clear, and you can see the pressure here from LaSalle right away. For 2 teams that are out of the Atlantic 10 tournament, both teams missing it this year. LaSalle misses it for what will be their 4th straight season. George Washington missing it after making it last year, losing to Davidson. They're both showing a lot of heart and fire here to get this game going, especially given the conditions. Now working on in. Kleberg, and George Washington strikes back again. 2 straight goals for the Revolutionaries. And Desiree Kleberg getting it done for the home squad. Graduate student transfer from Quinnipiac gets the unassisted goal. It will be her 33rd goal of the year, 2nd best on this George Washington squad. She now has 45 points on the year, trailing only fellow grad transfer Emma Nowakowski, who has 49 points on the year. George Washington wasting no time on their offensive possession, immediately finding the holes in the defense and slicing on in. Now it's a matter of getting possession here early on. Midfield's done a great job for LaSalle, not only getting the first draw control, but forcing some George Washington turnovers. Let's see what we have here once again. Again, official taking the time to set up. This is Haley Bolton in the center circle going up against Ainsley Plume, and call going against the Revolutionaries. Give it right to the Explorers one more time. Here's Click, senior out of Baltimore, Maryland, who is on milestone watch. Entering today, she was 9 draw controls away from breaking the LaSalle single season record, which stood at 72. And now she's looking to get it done on the offensive end as well. We're just 5 minutes and 12 seconds into this game. Already 3 goals, some good amount of action, a great cut, and a dump-off pass for the goal. Click set it up. And then getting it through the net for the goal. I believe that will be Johnson. It is. Or excuse me, no, not Johnson. It was Sam Klein. Sam Klein getting her 3rd goal of the season. And the assist, of course, going to Click. Mackenzie Click, told you, going to be a player to watch for this team. On the year for Click, that will just be her 5th assist, which is a little surprising, but again, offensive numbers have struggled this year for this Explorer team. As back to the draw circle we go. It's been favoring LaSalle, and it continues to favor LaSalle. Maddie Henderson with a great jump off the release. Gets that control, and LaSalle on the offensive side one more time. Don't have possession numbers for you, but we're 5 minutes, 40 seconds in. I'd say over 4.5 of it have been all LaSalle, despite it being a tie game, 2-2. Here's Click. Making a dodge, getting past her defender. A low shot, and she scores herself. Great move by Mackenzie Click, getting on by the senior midfielder, Bailey Aaron, who matched up against her. Just took her on. A nice dodge to go to the left side. Attacking, goes 5-hole. And already LaSalle with 3 goals going against Arding Bogle. Bogle, who's gotten the start of the last several games for this team. Allowing several to go past here early. So Click already with 2 points here in this contest, and we're just 6 minutes in. Both these teams average less than 10 goals per game. And right now, LaSalle is on pace for 18. George Washington on pace for 12. Another control going the way of Maddie Henderson, as she's been able to get a pair here early on. And once again, George Washington working back in defense. We saw a couple of subs, but the same group for this Revolutionary squad. Gonna have to play a long defensive possession one more time. Sal may be looking to see if they can tire him out a little bit. Gina D'Angelo lost it as a play was called. Still loose, bounces towards the midfield. There's a scrum, and then picked up by the Revolutionaries. GW Revs out and running one more time. Katie Letterman ahead of the pack. Controlling the ball in her stick before she brings it behind the cage. Now the offensive set will get going. Semicircle entirely open now, as Alex Alfiero helped bring it ahead. Here's Desiree Kleberg. Ball passed off to the right. Malarkey. Oh, and a high pass. Smartly able to be picked up by Letterman. Just good off-ball placement there. Running away from the cage, dumping it off. LaSalle aggressive defensively, applying a lot of pressure on these stunts. Nowakowski draws a pair of defenders, loses it, picks it back up. 30 seconds on the clock now for the Revolutionaries. Pass inside, Malarkey turns off the crossbar, and that one will stay here. Reset of the clock, 60 seconds. George Washington still quickly trying to find those lanes. Malarkey looking for a second, goes right, back to the left, squeezes past 2, bounces off the keeper, bounces around, and then scooped up by Maddie Henderson. Henderson, great start to this game, getting some possession, and then it's swiped away. Nowakowski trailing Henderson. She has an open lane, thinks better of it as she was triple teamed, and then finally passes out of her stick. Hectic moment there, an opportunity there for the Revolutionaries, but they'll slow it back down. They have a full now 74 seconds to be able to get off another shot. Midway through the first quarter, actually a minute past midway,
want to be exact. 3-2 game, Explorers on top. Emma Nowakowski, who's had such a great season for this George Washington team. Still looking for her first shot today. Here, very active, but it's drawn a lot of attention. Here she is now. Fakes going left, stops, tries to go back right, lost her footing. 40 seconds. Oh, and the pass inside was deflected, picked back up. Kleberg jumped up, tried to get a pass in, instead had to put it down, then lost it as she landed. Mackenzie Click showing her speed and now slows it down, waiting for numbers to get back for her squad. Bunch of subs on both sides. And now LaSalle once again look to have a long offensive possession to tire out this George Washington defense. Katie Laciardi, as there is a foul. Laciardi moved the ball behind the cage before feeding it out in front. And now she has it here, the freshman attacker. Here on the right hash. Situation where I imagine the freshman will pass out. She does. Ten minutes in. Finally had a break in the goal scoring here. 4 minutes without either team scoring. After that opening barrage of goals, Klein, who already has one, looks behind the cage to swing it around. Pressure there being applied by Caroline Tone, the sophomore. As again, George Washington not allowing any stunts on the inside. No cuts available. Click. Some good stick moves. Get past first defender. Awkward angle, and that one just dropped into the stick of a George Washington Revolutionary. Revs looking for a clear. You see Parker Kranz being able to get it ahead, and nicely done. Her speed out in front of the midfield. Made an easy one for the Revolutionaries. Now 70 seconds here for them to go to work. Next stoppage will bring us a media timeout here in Washington, D.C. All the action happening in the first 6 minutes. In the last 5.5, there's been nothing. Nowakowski, again, draws a double team. There's a lot of contact, and I think she lowered her body too much. Offensive call against her. Explorers get possession. As once again, George Washington's offense with limited chances, and Nowakowski on the chase, very frustrated with herself as she retreats back to the midfield. Three minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter. LaSalle leads 3-2. Final game of the regular season for both teams who are out of postseason contention. But many of the regulars showing up with some heart and fire to get things going. And speaking of heart and fire, that's the senior, Claudia Steinmetz, getting her second goal of the day. Doing it herself, and puts LaSalle on top now by 2. Claudia Steinmetz, both times got herself about halfway through the penalty zone and then using her height to take advantage. And right now, with 3 or 4 remaining in the first quarter, we'll take our first break of this game. The Explorers on top, 4-2. George Mason falling behind here in the fourth set. UC Irvine on top, 13-6. And now starting to get their biggest lead of the match. Joel Schneidmiller setting the ball up right into the net.
That ended a 3-0 scoring run. The Spaniards were just on. So out of the timeout, George Mason see if they can try to chip away here in this fourth set.
Every point now becoming a little bit more important for the Patriots. So that one goes out of bounds off of Wagner. Is now at the point as you're down by 7. Each time you get a serve, you want to be able to get at least 1 or 2 more points under your belt to try and climb back in this one. You can't let Irvine win any of their points. The freshman, Johnny Bowles, is in. That one's blocked out of bounds by Austin Wilmot. Bowles is back out of the match. Back in the rotation, David Parker. And Hayden Wagner cleans up that loose ball. Oh. No, they're awarding the point to UC Irvine. Patriots are looking for an explanation. I think they're saying Wagner went over the net. He played the ball on the UC Irvine side of the court.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, because it looked like Hayden Wagner was well on the side of the Patriots.
And Hayden Wagner was making a kicking motion to the down ref. And the down ref reached to his pocket. Oh, and here we have a yellow card here given to Luis Velez. Luis Velez went to say something to the up ref, and he probably said one of those words that you're not supposed to, as the yellow card is given to him. Patriots down by 7. Velez now with a yellow. And that will be a service ace. Six service aces in the match for UC Irvine. They've doubled up the Patriots. That one's missed by the senior, Carl Affelbach. 6'8" opposite. Former member of the 2013 boys national team. Wagner with an emphatic serve, but UC Irvine got behind it, and Velez unable to get a good pass set up. (17-9) UC Irvine on top. They're 8 points away. Kyle Barnes finally gets a clean attack. And he'll use that as a chance to go back and serve. Again, now you gotta at least win one while you're serving. You gotta win one of your points. Average serve there by Barnes, and Austin Wilmot will not give George Mason that second point. Once again, end of the set, we have a 7 substitution for the Anteaters. Brian Garcia, the 6'5" freshman, replacing Dante Chakravorty. He has 37 kills in this, oh, excuse me, I keep doing that. 37 assists in this match is Chakravorty. His day may be done through 4 sets of action. Velez to Wagner, just trying to scrap any points that he can. Garcia sets it up for Schneidmiller, sent back to the Irvine side. Schneidmiller again gets it over the wall. Kinnan, and that one put down. Joel Schneidmiller to put Irvine 5 points away from taking this match.
And this might be the strongest set we've seen UC Irvine play. They've been very poised, and they have not made many mistakes, and they're making George Mason pay for every single one they have.
Kinnan, Velez to Payne, as they'll get their 11th point. Going to need something to spark a rally if you're George Mason. Luis Velez provided a spark for the Patriots there in the third set coming in. Got them that one. Will anything provide the spark here in the fourth? And Langston Payne, it seems like he's had more go into the net from the service position than go over it so far in this match. Irvine now 4 points away. Ooh, risky call there by Greenslade. He let it go and it pays off. And Chakravorty will now come back in. Garcia goes out. Garcia did not record an assist in his short stint. Velez barely got that one over, almost got a service ace out of it, and the Patriots will deflect it out of bounds.
And what a play. Chakravorty really made that, extending one arm, and Schneidmiller icing on the cake.
Still able to get an effective pass off even while down on the hardwood. Schneidmiller, 14 kills in tonight's match. Got a strong serve there. Wagner well away from the net. Misses on that one and will now give Irvine an 11-point lead here in the fourth. Wagner, fantastic night here for him. But it looks like the Patriots are going to come up short. Net violation called against the Anteaters. They'll give the Patriots at least one back. I don't think that one got over. It did not. 4 hits for Irvine, gives George Mason one more. Oh, just kind of a formality at this point, just to make the score a little bit more respectable, unless George Mason has a magical rally in them. Greenslade, Parker with the reception. That one tapped over. Velez got underneath it. Barnes just trying to catch UC Irvine off guard. They did not. Wagner immediately hits it back. They go over to Affelbach. Velez with the dig. Kinnan set up to Hayden Wagner, and another point for George Mason.
Velez, the MVP of that sequence there. 2 crucial digs to set up Hayden Wagner. And Wagner closing in on that career high mark in kills.
Yep, that is 25, what you did last year against NJIT. 8-point deficit for the Patriots. They're on a 3-0 run. And no more magic left in the glove for Luis Velez, as Aaron Kuby now gives the team 2 handfuls worth of match points. Barnes gets that one to land in after 2 poor passes by his team. Barnes playing in his best set of the match, maybe a little too late. And Justin Coleman will come in to serve for Jack Reese. Justin Coleman a little bit more oomph behind the serve. As the Patriots are now 8 points behind. And Affelbach ends the match. And UC Irvine comes in to Fairfax, Virginia, and gets 2 victories over EIVA opponents. They swept Princeton yesterday. It took 4 today, but they win 3-1 over the George Mason Patriots.
C now goes ahead. 0-1, that one's the third. They tag, they'll go home on the easy play. And a double play and a fist pump from Max Ramirez as Niagara gets out of a bases-loaded jam. How about that for a play?
Got a big win yesterday over the Patriots, their first road win of the season. So you gotta believe that that will get them heading in the right direction. I said it's big, a big monkey
off of their back as the first pitch is in at 2:02 p.m. here in Fairfax. That one ripped hard down left and well into foul territory. As Kales looking to get aboard, only his 6th appearance of the season, has 19 at-bats. Batting .333 is the senior. Today he is playing out into left field. Left-handed Shields. At the belt, the stretch. Off the plate and low to make it 2-1. This one popped out to center. Tracing back, getting a couple feet from the warning track is Alex Knopp. And we have the first out away here in Fairfax. Again, first pitch today was at 2:02. We're coming in at 75 degrees Fahrenheit with a little bit of a hazy horizon here. Wind coming in at 9 miles per hour. Will be coming in from left field, but it is occasional. Right now, it is currently dead as we look out in the flag and right. Kean Saylor is up the DH. Freshman's had a strong first season in college with a .345 average. Takes the first pitch. 4-ball. Second one right down Main Street, called strike number 2 against Saylor. Been the DH for the past several games for the Rams. Batted second in the order yesterday as well. Third pitch is in there again, a called strike right down the middle. Count is now 1-2, favoring Ben Shields. Burner pitch, well off the plate, breaking ball action. Dykstra had to reach over and play it. Yesterday, Fordham got on top early, scoring 2 runs in the first. As a check swing gets off the end of the bat. Over to short, long throw, a tag will have to be made, and it is not. Carson Prock for South Trimble to come off the bag on that throw. As now the Rams have a runner aboard. It will be a throwing error against Carson Prott. It would have been close at the bag. But now a base runner here for the Rams. Able to reach on the 2-2 count on the excuse me swing. As now Fordham looks to be in business, but Simo pops it up, doesn't make it out of the infield. Calling everyone off is Brett Stallings, and out number 2 here in inning number 1. At 4 for those recording in your stat book here at home. Will Finley now up. Playing at first this afternoon, wearing number 36 on the field. Batted 5th yesterday. Today gets called up into the cleanup spot, trying to get something going for the Rams in the first. As the sophomore chases a ball out of the zone for strike number 1. Finley making his 22nd start and 28th appearance on the season. Been a regular in this lineup. As they go over and check the runner at first. Saylor. It's 2 stolen bases for him this year in 4 attempts. Expect to see a lit up base path today between both these 2 teams. Runner goes, Dykstra clutches it. Oh, and that one gets away from the second baseman and out towards center. Trying to get to third is Saylor, and he is in there on the slide.
A mistake there as a one hop into Stallings. He couldn't control it. And here's the replay. Throw from Dykstra. One hop. Stallings couldn't read it. And good heads up play by Saylor to be able to get all the way over to third. And just like that, Fordham has a runner in scoring position for Findlay. 1-1 count. Rams trying to duplicate their success in the opening frame that we saw yesterday. The delivery up high. Ball number 2. Watch that ball and called strike, dropping in the zone on the outer edge, but now it is 2-2. Defensive play for Mason. Cameron Smith in left, Alex Knapp in center, Brett Ahalt is in right. Danny Hosley is at third, Carson Prontis at short, Brett Stallings at second, Sal Trimble at first, and Connor Dykstra is behind the plate for Ben Shields. 2's across the scoreboard. Watches it. Oh, no, and now it will be ball number 3, full count. Same position as the last pitch. Patriot dugout thought they had a called strike 3 to end the inning. Payoff pitch here coming for Shields. That one off the end of the bat. Two-hopper over to second. Stallings makes the play, and the inning is over. So despite Kean Saylor getting all the way over to third off of a stolen base, Fordham unable to punch one home. We'll head to the bottom of the first, introduce you to the Patriots when we come back here on ESPN+.
After one inning that took us about 18 minutes to get through, we are at inning number 2 with Kyle Roach back out on the mound. Allowed one hit but got 2 strikeouts his first time up. Faced 4 batters, and now he'll go through the middle of the lineup, starting with Gavin Schrader. Schrader, sophomore, DH today for this team. Was all-rookie team selection a year ago as he played in 30 games and had 24 starts for the Purple Eagles. Goes after the first pitch. Fouled that one down. On a high pitch there by Roach. Gets him to chase after it to make it 0-2. Last year was Schrader of his 12 starts. As he fouls off the third pitch, he played 12 games at first, had 10 in the outfield, and was also DH twice. Those were all of his starts again, as I said. Hit .276. What was a good hitting Niagara team. Also had 4 long balls. A team that hit 50. And that one too low for the home plate umpire, Mike Serra. Everybody in the ballpark had their opinion on that pitch, as it now is a 1-2 count. Schrader looking in and lets that one stay off the plate. We're back even at 2-2. That one tight on the hands and looped over the third baseman. Base hit here for Schrader. Just too high for Jordan Jaffe to be able to get a glove on that one. And now, once again, a leadoff base runner here for the Purple Eagles. They have some options here further down in their lineup. First up is Matt Ward. Last year hit .271. And he tries to lay down a bunt. A good one over to third. Will advance the runner, and with his speed, he was almost able to get there, but played nicely by Jaffe to get the first out.
So a sack bunt there from Ward. So it looks like we're going to have one of those type of games today, I see. Nick Monell steps in. Monell, a freshman from Tampa, Florida. Went to Calvary Christian High School. Played 3 seasons of varsity ball where he hit .446. That was for his career. So looking to see that translate to the D1 level as he lets that one go in as he rotated his body inward. One count. Watches that one to go by for a strike. Lower outside corner to get the call there in favor of the pitcher, Roach. O'Neal tries to jump out, trying to get the frame is Shockley, but he can't get it. Awarded by Sarah, the home plate umpire. So the count is 2-2. Runner is at second with 1 out aboard. Scoring position here. And that time he went around. O'Neal got caught. 3rd strikeout of the day for Roach. And a great start here for Roach, being able to settle down after a hit to start both of his innings. Brady Desjardins comes in swinging hard at the first pitch. Fastball snuck by there by Roach. Desjardins, a senior, trying to bring around the sophomore sitting out there at second. Right now, Desjardins 0-2 count against him and 2 outs on the board. Roach trying to get away scot-free once again. Can he get it on this pitch? This one hit over to second. Oh, and that one's off the glove of Topolsky, and that will score a run for Niagara, their first run of the 2024 season, as Gavin Schrader scores on what will surely be an error by Topolsky. So officially put down as an E4 as Gavin Schroeder coming across home plate, and Desjardins over at first as they strike first with the 9-hole hitter Nate Milk. Here look to see if they can keep the run going. Unfortunate bounce there. Sometimes earlier on in the season you don't read it well as the runner goes. Some speed, another high throw, and unable to get it is Topolsky in his glove. Not exactly the best placement of the ball there by Shockley, so don't want to put too much on number 10 there, but stolen base by Desjardins. 2 stolen bases in 2 innings into the season for Niagara. Last year, they really weren't this aggressive on the base pass, as this one's popped up by Milk out into right field, and Bernstein is there to end the inning, but not without Niagara getting an unearned run across. Gavin Schrader has the Purple Eagles on top, 1-0 with the Spiders at back in the bottom of the second.
2-2 count. 2 outs on the board, 2 aboard on base. George Washington looking for a lead. Grounder to third, kept in front. They still have a chance to get the out, and they do. A slow jump out of the batter's box by Mandy Loth cost her, and George Washington unable to get one aboard despite a hit batter and a walk. Score remains 0-0 as we turn our sights to the 4th.
First pitch into Elena Ramirez to get things started here in the bottom of the fourth. It's a called strike. And as we do so, I want to tell you a little bit about 1732 Circle. Join GW Athletics Leadership Giving Society, the 1732 Circle. By making a $25,000 pledge, will directly impact the experience of GW student athletes for generations to come. Multi-year commitments to the 1732 Circle will be used to enhance the university's 20 varsity sports, scholarships, facilities, and other initiatives. Again, that is the 1732 Circle for George Washington Athletics. And Ramirez, right on cue with my ad read finishing, gets a base hit up the middle to get things started here in this inning for George Washington. Third hit of the game for the Revolutionaries, as Ramirez now 1 for 2 on the day. Make it a 6-game hitting streak here for the senior, as it appears we might have a change coming for the Revolutionaries, sensing it's going to be a low-scoring game. Head coach Chrissy Schoonmaker looking to sub things in. Daniela Liu, the speedy sophomore, will replace Ramirez here as a pinch runner at first. So this sets up Ashley Corpus with no outs on the board and a speedster on the base paths. Liu, while she has the speed, she has not tried to take a base away in her base running, as the rise ball is in there for a called strike. 0-2 on the board. Corpus had a single there in the second here for George Washington. That rise ball misses everything, as jumping out of the stance was Reinstein. One, two. Melas, the delivery, gets Corpus to pop up and out to second. So 1 away now. And with the changes defensively for George Washington, they also will have a pinch hitter come in for Kano. It appears her day initially may be done, and that might set things up for what could happen in game number 2, as Kano is out of the lineup, and this is Abby Schaub. Schaub takes the first pitch for a ball, makes contact with the second one, but not making any move is Alicia Orozco, as she took 2 steps forward to get that out. And once again, a leadoff single for George Washington, and nothing may come out of it here. Here's Paige Hayward. One player in the lineup whose spot has not changed. Fouls it off the netting behind her on the first pitch. She grounded out to the pitcher in inning number 2. That ended the second inning. Contact here. This one's in the gap, out and right. They're continuing to wave around the run, and Liu slips, though, at third, and she will crawl over to the bag. And not reading what happened, Hayward tried to jump over to third, but Liu was on the ground. So Liu slipped there in between second and third. And if she doesn't slip, that's probably a run for George Washington. A bummer there for the home team, but the line keeps moving. And Maggie Greco has a great chance here to step in. That was hit number 4 in this game. First one for extra bases on the Revolutionary side. Good contact by Hayward, who continues her great weekend. She is now 5 for 9 through 3 games. Had a home run against Cornell as well. This is Greco getting the power behind here, but on the warning track and getting out number 3 once again was Orozco. George Washington threatens one more time. They get 2 base runners on. Nobody comes home. 0-0 game here on ESPN+.
Rowan, congrats on the win. I know it's been a long time coming. 4 years, you've had a lot of good DC teams over the past 4 seasons. 5 years, if we're talking actual time. How does it feel to be able to get this first round playoff win?
Yeah, I think we were talking before the game about that, and it was not something that registered until you think about it. Each team and each year is a little bit different, and this team had what it takes to move on. So, you know, we've learned over those losses and also over the course of the season, and we put together the right kind of game.
Offensively, in the first quarter, you guys were turning the disc over quite a bit, and Philadelphia, they were holding strong. They weren't getting broken. Was there a point where you were feeling that intensity of the playoff game and Philadelphia is up for the match?
Yeah, totally. I mean, a lot of end zone miscues. Personally, I thought Paul Owens was doing a great job. I was struggling early, and it felt like they were winning the game, even though we were up 7-6 at the first, just because, yeah, we had 3 or 4 turns and we didn't generate a single one. But it's only a matter of time before our defense gets going. They got going, and we got the W.
Speaking of that defense, this was one of the best games from the D-line the entire season. Daryl, he told me he gave him an F in that first quarter. What's your grade now on the team now?
A+. A win is everything you need, and they did it. I think they got maybe 3-4 critical ones second, third quarter, and that allowed our O to have some space and some more confidence going into the fourth. So hats off to the D-line for sure.
In DC Ultimate, it's very rare that we see David Cranston on an O-line. Daryl pulled him over in the fourth quarter. Should we see more David Cranston on the DC O-line?
I mean, David Cranston's honestly possibly the best offensive player in the city. Just his communication and his kind of defensive pop just keeps him over there. So I think you would expect to see him wherever the coach needs him. He's super chill, and he'll do whatever it takes to win.
Thanks, Rowan. Congratulations. I'll let you go celebrate. Wes, Shakira, we are back here in Baltimore. Last time we were here, you were coming off a concussion. In fact, all the times we've had these big venue games, you have stepped up for your team. What's it like for you getting into that mental mindset in these big venues?
Just appreciating the new atmosphere, honestly. You never know who's watching, and I just like to go out there and compete and put on a show.
Throughout this season, we've talked about you giving the opportunity to be more of a playmaker. How do you feel like those skills have gone this year and developed?
I think I've been able to showcase a lot more than I have in previous years. Just continue to figure out how to be aggressive and also make the right plays and get my teammates involved in that aspect. I've been trying to push the ball a little bit more. So just figuring out ways I can impact other than just, post touches.
Last one for you. It's a Wes Hall question. One word to describe your season. What is it?
Transitioning.
Transitioning?
Yes, transitioning. I think it's a growth moment for me. This year has been my first year just being out there confident and healthy. So just continue to transition to the person I'm going to be.